What's up, my friend? Day 52 today. How do I start this? I was just talking to my brother and my friend Marin, whose room this is, about not wanting to do this. And what I mean by this is writing. I don't feel like fucking writing right now. Like I find that when I set the timer, I put 30 minutes on because I want to be consistent, right? And I know that there's a part of that's resistance of not wanting to do it. Like the things that are hard that we know in the long term we want to do, whether that's working out, being in a relationship, um, checking your finances on a regular basis, like, all those things that we know we should do, I've often found resistance in. And it feels good once I do them, but I'm fucking beating my head against the wall in the process of doing them. And so I was talking to them about that, and they were both asking me questions, but like, why do you think that is? Why do you, what do you, what do you want to do? Why do you feel that way? And like, just kind of like probing deeper into that. And we started talking about flow states. And there's this book that Marin has. Hold on. They're probably watching this right now. What's up, y'all? Uh, um, called Flow. I've never read it, but we were talking about the idea of doing things that get you into a flow state. So for me, making videos, I'm in a flow state. Like I literally have lost complete track of time as I'm recording this. I'm not going to write today. Putting that out there. I'm not writing today because I don't want to. And I am willing to accept the guilt and shame that may be associated with that. I've been consistent as fuck with a lot of things, and this is definitely one of them. So we're talking about flow state and the idea of losing yourself in an act where you lose track of time, you're completely present and focused. And when I'm making videos, that's how I feel. And I feel like I have a lot to share, a lot of wisdom to share, lessons learned. And video talking is my favorite way of communicating. I enjoy writing as more of a private practice, but communicating via video and talking is what I enjoy doing. And so I'm in San Pedro right now in LA, and I came here for a reason. I was talking to my mom about this the other day because, and may have mentioned this in I mentioned this in the stream yesterday, but a lot of people want to see me fail, which is kind of crazy. A lot of my friends back home, or I don't even know if I can call them friends, acquaintances, associates, people that I know, ask my parents about how I'm doing over here because all my whole life is in New Jersey, and I'm over here and I know very few people, but I'm working on increasing the people that I know. And it's just so amazing. My dad asked me, he's like, I wonder why this XYZ person is always asking about you. And I'm like, because they want to see me fail and they want to hear that I failed, that I'm coming back home. He says, you're probably right. And while that may seem sad, it is what it is. And I told my mom, I have a lot of friends that are married, settled down with kids, have a nice fat stack of savings, have a house. I'm broke. Okay. Like, and I'm not going to say, let me backtrack. I have struggled financially in the past. Um, and I believe that I am abundant and can create opportunities and I'm intelligent. So I'm also mindful of how I use my language. But if we're talking in straight numbers, I could be in a better situation. And I told my mom, I was like, but I'm pursuing something that I feel is important, that resonates with me. Because at the end of the day, at the end of our lives, we're all going to die. Like nobody survives this life. No one. Death has literally 100% success rate. We can all 100% predict that we will all die. And so I don't want to be the type of person that says, man, I really wish I took a chance and regret that I didn't. And so that's kind of what I'm leading right now is a life where I try to eliminate regret as often as possible. And now I'm trying to figure out like how do I survive and actually achieve abundance along that process. So I feel like I'm getting closer to that. to discovering that. And that's an unfolding process of discovery, but it takes time to figure out. And again, I just don't want to be like 85 years old and wonder, like, oh, what would it have been like if I had taken a chance in my 20s and pursued something I actually give a fuck about? Because I see so many people at my job that are just zombies, NPCs walking around aimlessly, bumping into symbolic walls, unsure of what to do next. And that's not me. I don't resonate with that. So figuring it out. And this is part of that rant of figuring it out. And I was just on the phone with somebody earlier at an agency I'm trying to work for. And she was giving me all this advice, and I was listening very patiently. And then I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm actually meeting with this person tomorrow. I had drinks with this person last week. I'm meeting up with these two people this weekend. And she's like, whoa, whoa, like what? How? Like it, as if it was even difficult for her to do that. And I told her, I was like, maybe it's an East Coast energy thing. I don't know. But I've literally have a spreadsheet where I've reached out to over 300 people. And so I think it's how we compare ourselves and how we define ourselves. I could look at someone like David Goggins and be like, I'm not doing enough. But then I'm talking to this girl earlier, and it seems like she's like, "Well, this is you're doing so much." So everything's relative, right? Like how we define ourselves and what standard we hold ourselves to. And the question that I've asked and my friend Justin asked me was, what is enough? Like we have to define for ourselves, like what is enough. So when I look at this and I'm writing, like, what is enough? Like what is considered a good writing session for me? And who am I writing this for? And like why? And like asking myself these questions. And it's not always going to be easy. I mean, I'm 52 days in officially. I've been doing this a lot longer and being like, why the fuck am I doing this again? And then having that strong why of is what propels you forward. And that sounds corny as shit, but it's true. Being able to think visually, like I'm not the best writer. Like I was just talking to Nick and Marn about this. Like Walt Disney wasn't the best artist. He was good, but he was a much better visionary and an idea creator and someone who can bring together the pieces and manifest this thing that no one else can see. That's where I feel like my gifts lie. And so right now, I have this vision for a production company where I'm creating these films and these pieces of art that are aimed at helping people improve themselves. And we can talk about that whole improvement thing, like, because there's a line there where it's like, how much do you need to improve and how much do you have to just accept where you're at? And that's a whole other topic. But I want to create these films where you watch them, films, media in general, comics, books, and you learn something about yourself. You can go deeper within because every time I've watched a film that I really resonate with, specifically in theaters, actually, because there's something special about a theater where I feel like it's kind of symbolic of the womb. And I'm sitting there and like my scalp will tighten as I'm watching this film and being like, holy shit, like I kind of go somewhere else and visualize my life and how I can take what this movie is talking about and make my life better, or even if it's just reflecting on nostalgic memories of the past that I don't visit often. That's what has really sucked me into making movies, is that more so than like the actors and the dialogue. Like those are little furnishings on this really big substance and foundation that I believe is what film is really about. Is it's a communication tool, it's a device. And so that's what really resonates with me when I discovered Studio Ghibli like a couple months ago and started watching Miyazaki's films. I was like, holy shit, this guy is tapping into something. Miyazaki, Tolkien. I fucking love Lord of the Rings. All these Disney too, of course, but those two for me specifically as of late. And like they're tapping into some sort of like human code, some sort of primitive ideology that we all share and are able to then transmute that into images and visuals and words and create some mosaic that we can resonate with on like a deeper subconscious level. And I feel like that's what storytelling is really about. It's not so much about like once upon a time and this and that, but more so about the underlying themes that play out throughout the course of the stories being told. and those artists have certainly done that. So I'm trying to do that, and I feel like in the attempt is where I discover what I have to offer, and just writing this film and taking taking my experience with men's work and learning about what that is. You know, there was like a few years ago, back in 2020 or 2019, um, I was feeling really alone. And I was like, I want to find people like me who are interested in self improvement and fitness and spirituality. And that took me on a whole journey of discovering a men's group of men who are intimate with one another, and sharing their experiences and their journeys, and creating like a container where we can improve ourselves together. And from there, I was like, holy shit. That took me on a couple year journey where I did plant medicines like psilocybin and hape, and really discovered all these indigenous practices, and was able to like then say, "Oh, okay, I could take those, apply those to my natural inclination for storytelling, and craft something wholly unique," which is what I'm aiming to do on a higher level. But even as I'm talking right now, right, going back to like the beginning of this stream, that's what gets me in a flow state, is talking about these ideas, talking about creating ideas, is really where I feel like I thrive. And so it's just a matter of getting more into that, creating and cultivating a habit of that. So this is a long rant, but this is, I can't even call it a rant. This is a video. This is a stream. This is a piece of art, and kind of shifting my perspective around that, because this is what I enjoy. So, Nick recommended I just rant about, create a stream. I gotta stop saying rant. Fuck it. Create a stream about like what I'm currently experiencing. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing right now. Is just this resistance around, fuck, like I want to write, but I'm tired and I want to do other things. I want to play fucking Hogwarts Legacy right now, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, I have to figure out a new apartment situation, and I'm still trying to get into this freaking agency. So it's a lot of moving parts. And to quote Tolkien, and one of the lines Gandalf says is, "Even the wise cannot see all ends." And well, I like to think there have moments of wisdom. Uh, I still can't see the end. None of us can. I can only see what's directly in front of me, and it's just trying to cultivate a attitude of constantly leaning in towards the thing that's in front of me. And so I was talking to them about like, I don't know about this writing thing. I don't know what to really pursue, and feeling both lost, but also like I'm on the right track, if that makes any sense. And then I came back to my channel to see what day I was on, so I could title this stream. And I looked at one of my other streams, had 184 views and 2 new subscribers, and I'm like, "Wait a second." Uh, and I just told them, I was like, "That stream, I was just ranting about the challenges of living in LA and leaving the apartment, having no furniture in the room. Now I'm here magically." And, yeah, they're like, "Maybe you should just talk about that." So that's what I'm doing. So you can expect that while I might not always be writing on these live streams, I do wanna be present for them as much and as often as possible. And so tomorrow, I'm gonna buy a cigar and smoke it, work out again for the first time in like a week, get back on a consistent routine with that, and really just try to get all my ducks in a row, as it were, and get my life in order. As Jordan Peterson would say, start with making your bed. And so kind of really make my bed, get my house in order before I can attend to these other things. But creating videos is something that I'm going to continue doing no matter what, and documenting my journey of this, because I would have loved to have been watching someone do this when I was first starting as a filmmaker and a creator in general. And so I feel like that's what I want to be the person that I wish I had. And I want to be a man that I can respect. Freaking I I was trying to return I don't even want to say the store name. I was trying to return this. So I got Hogwarts Legacy. This is my last little tangent. I got Hogwarts Legacy for Switch, not realizing that looks like absolute dog shit on Switch. It's much better on computer and PS5. So it looked terrible, but I opened the game, and the policy at the store was you can't return an open game. You can only exchange it for the same game. And I was like, fuck. And I don't like lying. I feel like out of integrity doing that. But I did it. The pie, I did it. I brought it back today and was like, "Hey, like, this is something's wrong with this. Can I change it for the another one?" And the guy was super helpful. Ended up bringing the new one out, and I'm like, "All right, let me stop bullshitting with him." So we're making small talk. As we're talking, he opens the new one, opens the container for the game. I'm like, "Oh god," because I was gonna get the new one and then go to another Best Buy and I just said this store. I okay, fuck it. The cat's out of the bag. Then I was gonna go to another store and return it. But no, I'm just out of $75. So there's no way around that, I'm afraid. But, I don't even know why I brought that up. But yeah, I don't like to be out of integrity. I try to be out of integrity as little as possible, and so that for me was, like, a bit rough. And, so I wanna be a man worthy of respect that I can respect someone of integrity and, true to my word and honest and righteous in my actions and intentions. And I'm learning there's a lot of nuance to that. But anyway, I feel complete having said all of that. And I look forward to seeing you on the next stream tomorrow. And if it won't be tomorrow, then I will at least let you know what's going on. So I have a lot to think about, a lot to reflect on, and that's something I definitely do. I need to do more. Is create the space. So that's what Nick and I were talking about. Is when you're smoking a cigar, you have this time away from stimulus where where I find I'm completely present and I can just reflect and think and be. And that's what I feel like we should all do more of. So until tomorrow, I'll see you.